Question 1. What must accompany all firearms purchased in California? Option A. A firearm safety device, FSD, listed on the DOJ's official roster. Option B. A warranty card. Option C. A complimentary box of ammunition. Option D. Instruction manuals in both English and Spanish. The correct answer is Option A. A firearm safety device, FSD, listed on the DOJ's official roster. Question 2. Which of the following individuals is prohibited from possessing firearms for life under California law? Option A. A person who has been issued a speeding ticket. Option B. A person who has been convicted of a misdemeanor not involving violence. Option C. Any person convicted of a felony or any violent offense, such as robbery. Option D. An individual who has been fined for littering. The correct answer is Option C. Any person convicted of a felony or any violent offense, such as robbery. Question 3. Until what age are juveniles adjudged wards of the juvenile court prohibited from possessing firearms if they committed an offense listed in Welfare and Institutions Code Section 707, Subdivision B? Option A. 30 years old. Option B. 25 years old. Option C. 21 years old. Option D. 17 years old. The correct answer is Option A. 30 years old. Questions 4. Through what means does the DOJ approve the sale or transfer of ammunition? Option A. Verification through a public notary. Option B. Electronically through a licensed ammunition vendor. Option C. In-person verification at a DOJ office. Option D. A mailed application to the DOJ. The correct answer is Option B. Electronically through a licensed ammunition vendor. Question 5. Which of the following qualifies as a locked container for transporting a handgun in a motor vehicle? Option A. The trunk of the motor vehicle. Option B. A utility compartment with a simple latch. Option C. A glove compartment locked with the vehicle's key. Option D. An open container with a locking mechanism on the fireman itself. The correct answer is Option A. The trunk of the motor vehicle. Questions 6. Who is exempt from the prohibition of carrying a concealed handgun according to California Penal Code Section 25640? Option A. Members of the military are on active duty. Option B. All California residents over the age of 21. Option C. Off-duty law enforcement officers. Option D. Licensed hunters of fishermen while engaged in their activities. The correct answer is Option D. Licensed hunters of fishermen while engaged in their activities. Question 7. How must rifles and shotgun be transported in California? Option A. Unloaded, without the need for a locked container. Option B. Without any specific requirements as long as they are concealed. Option C. Loaded, but with the safety on. Option D. In a locked container, regardless of being loaded or unloaded. The correct answer is Option A. Unloaded, without the need for a locked container. Question 8. Which family members are exempt from the law requiring private party transfers, PPT, to be conducted through a licensed firearm dealer? Option A. Aunts and unless. Option B. Parents and children and grandparents and grandchildren. Option C. Cousins. Option D. Brother and sisters. The correct answer is option B. Parents and children and grandparents and grandchildren. Question 9. Within how many days must the transparency submit a report of the intra-familial firearm transaction to the DOJ? Option A. 60 days. Option B. 90 days. Option C. 30 days. Option D. 50 days. The correct answer is option C. 30 days. Question 10. As of January 1, 2020, what is the minimum age to purchase a semi-automatic centerfire rifle in California unless exempted? Option A. 21 years old. Option B. 19 years old. Option C. 18 years old. Option D. 25 years old. The correct answer is option A. 21 years old. Question 11. Who is authorized to engage in retail sales of firearms in California? Option A. Private individuals without a license. Option B. Licensed California firearm dealers with a valid certificate of eligibility, COE. Option C. Any resident with a firearm. Option D. Online retailers outside of California. The correct answer is option B. Licensed California firearm dealers with a valid certificate of eligibility, COE. Question 12. What is a straw purchase of a firearm? Option A. Returning a firearm to a store. Option B. Selling a firearm without a license. Option C. Buying a firearm at a discount. Option D. Buying a firearm for someone legally prohibited from owning one. The correct answer is option D. Buying a firearm for someone legally prohibited from owning one. Question 13. Which of the following is exempt from the one handgun per 30 days limit in California? Option A. Purchases from out-of-state dealers. Option B. Online purchases. Option C. Pawn returns. Option D. Retail sales. The correct answer is option C. Pawn returns. Question 14. What is the mandatory waiting period before a firearm can be delivered to the purchase in California? Option A. 10 days. Option B. 15 days. Option C. 20 days. Option D. 25 days. The correct answer is option A. 10 days. Question 15. What must new California residents do with their firearms within 60 days of moving to the state? Option A. Lock their firearms in a safe and not use them. Option B. Sell their firearms. Option C. Register their firearms with the California Department of Justice, DOJ. Option D. None of these. The correct answer is option C. Register their firearms with the California Department of Justice, DOJ. Question 16. How must a handgun be stored during transportation in a motor vehicle according to California law? Option A. Loaded, in the glove compartment. Option B. Unloaded, in a locked container. Option C. Loaded, in the driver's reach. Option D. None of these. The correct answer is option B. Unloaded in a locked container. Question 17. Who must perform the safe handling demonstration prior to taking possession of a firearm? Option A. A DOJ certified instructor. Option B. The seller only. Option C. The buyer only. Option D. Both the buyer and the seller. The correct answer is option C. The buyer only. Question 18. Is a firearm safety certificate required for intrafamilial transfers of handguns in California? Option A. Only for sales to minors. Option B. Yes. Option C. No. Option D. None of these. The correct answer is option B. Yes. Question 19. Can handguns be mailed through the U.S. Postal Service? Option A. No, they must be sent through a common or contract. Option B. Yes, without any restrictions. Option C. Yes, but only within the same state. Option D. None of these. The correct answer is option A. No, they must be sent through a common or contract. Question 20. What is required from the purchaser for the dealer record of sale, DROS, when buying a firearm? Option A. A recommendation letter. Option B. Valid email address. Option C. Only cash payment. Option D. Personal identifier information. The correct answer is option D. Personal identifier information. Question 21. Under California law, which misdemeanor conviction can lead to a lifetime prohibition on firearm possession? Option A. Assault upon a person with a firearm. Option B. Jaywalking. Option C. Shoplifting. Option D. Driving under the influence. The correct answer is option A. Assault upon a person with a firearm. Question 22. When does the right of self-defense cease according to the laws? Option A. When law enforcement arrives. Option B. When the attacker is incapable of inflicting further injuries. Option C. When the defender leaves the scene. Option D. After a predetermined amount of time has passed. The correct answer is option B. When the attacker is incapable of inflicting further injuries. Question 23. What is the limit for purchasing handguns or semi-automatic centerfire rifles in California? Option A. 1 handgun or 1 rifle per person per 30 days period. Option B. 2 handgun and 1 rifle per person per 30 days period. Option C. Unlimited purchases as long as the buyer has a valid FSC. Option D. None of these. The correct answer is option A. 1 handgun or 1 rifle per person per 30 days period. Question 24. For which type of firearm transfer is a firearm safety certificate not required in California? Option A. Private party transfers. Option B. Pawns. Option C. Retail sales. Option D. Intrafamilial transfers. The correct answer is option B. Pawns. Question 25. What could be the consequence of using excessive force in self-defense? Option A. Civil or criminal penalties. Option B. Mandatory self-defense classes. Option C. A Medal of Valor. Option D. None of these. The correct answer is option A. Civil or criminal penalties.